Hello, brothers and sisters, and welcome to what's going to be our next game for role playing. Because why not? Role playing is fun. And I decided I was going to do these in order. Like you saw the tabletop version of the Warlock of Firetop Mountain, which I could play the game book version too. I don't think there's going to be any difference between the games, rather than I don't think we're going to be seeing a game board in this one. I could be totally wrong, but judging from the file size of the game, I don't think we are. Um, Also, I don't know if dice are going to be involved, so we're going to find that out. Um, I'm hearing like dice rolls and whatnot going on. I don't know if I'm going to have to keep track of my own stuff or if the game's going to do that for me. So I haven't dabbled in any of these yet. But we are going to go to the Citadel of Chaos because it's the next one in line. So the Citadel of Chaos. And I have not played this, as you can see. Oh, I can just scroll that way. Okay. I have not played this. Okay. So I guess we are going to read to see how this works. The Citadel of Chaos is a fighting fantasy gamebook. Are we going to be hearing that the whole time? Because I really don't like that. I really don't like that. That's not too bad. That one's actually kind of cool. Okay. That's going to keep me on edge too much. It's too much Candyman vibes. I don't know. I don't know what I like. I might just turn that off for now. Music off for now. Maybe I'll just overlay my own music in there. But what if I just turn it down? Yeah, we'll do that. But quick dice? I don't know what that means. Quick combat? It's like I'm thinking I'm just gonna leave these all basically the way they are and worry about them later. Oh, I can change my character portrait. That's the character I have. Isn't that Decian Strom? Let's go with this one. I don't know why. We're gonna name him Brother Ryan. We should give him his own name. We should give him his own name. Let's call him, Marfesto. Marfesto. He needs a Marfesto face though. Marfesto. There we go. That's very Game of Thrones, isn't it? Oh, did that save? Oh, that's screen settings. Alright. Yeah, that's fine. No, I don't want to do that. Oh. I didn't know you were going to back out of everything. Did my stuff get saved? I hope my stuff got saved. Please say my stuff got saved. Did my stuff get saved? Right back in here. Resume. Did my stuff get saved? Well, my music saved?
No, I want to go to prayer.
That's not the one I chose. I chose the guy with that thing. That looks like it. That looks like it. Okay. Alright. We'll now begin the Citadel of Chaos. The Citadel of Chaos is a fighting fantasy gamebook, an interactive adventure in which you are the hero. You can only win by choosing the correct path, finding equipment, avoiding traps, and surviving combat. You will need to be as wise as an owl and as cunning as a weasel to triumph over the challenges ahead of you. Before embarking on your adventure, you must determine your own strengths and weaknesses with a series of dice rolls. You're preparing for your quest by training yourself in swordplay to improve your skill and exercising vigorously to build up your stamina. Before making your rolls, you must choose from one of 3 difficulty settings. This gamebook has been designed for optimum challenge on the Adventurer difficulty mode. For newcomers to fighting fantasy, we recommend Adventure or Free Read modes. For experienced readers already familiar with printed versions of this gamebook, we recommend Hardcore Hero mode. Can I just like that? Okay. Adventure. Play the Citadel Chaos exactly how Steve Jackson designed it. Very little has been changed from the printed version. Your starting skill is calculated by rolling 1d6 plus 6. You are also given unlimited bookmarks, which act like placing your fingers between the pages. Hardcore Hero. If you've beaten the Citadel Chaos in Adventure mode or have read the printed form of this game before, this difficulty mode allows you to test your courage in the Citadel of Baltus Fire with the ultimate challenge. Your starting skill is calculated by rolling 1d6 plus 4. You still receive unlimited bookmarks. Free Read. Play the Citadel Chaos like an old school cheater. In Free Read mode, you roll your character exactly the same way you would Adventurer mode, but you are given 3 extra options to help easily negotiate your way through the book. Rewind, Free Choice, and Heal. These are accessed through the adventure sheet. You may use all 3 of these buttons anytime during your adventure except during combat, when you may only use the heal button. Okay, I'm going to do Adventurer because I ain't doing that as of right now. I've not played this yet. And Free Read, come on. You have chosen the Adventure difficulty mode. Before continuing, you must calculate your initial stamina. Your stamina score reflects your general constitution, your will to survive, your determination, and overall fitness. The higher your stamina score, the longer you'll be able to survive. You must roll 2 dice and add 12 to the number rolled. This is then entered in the stamina box on your character sheet. Stamina will go up and down during your journey, but if your stamina falls to 0, you die, and your adventure is over. Roll your starting stamina. No. I'm gonna die. Next, determine your skill. Your skill reflects your swordsmanship and general fighting expertise. The higher, the better. Your starting skill is determined by rolling 1 die and adding 6 to the number. This is then entered in the skill box on your adventure sheet. Your adventure sheet can be accessed at any time using the menu at the bottom of the screen. Roll your starting skill. That's not bad. I'm good with 11. Next, determine your luck. Your luck score indicates how naturally lucky a person you are. Luck and magic are facts of life in the fighting kingdom in the fantasy kingdom you are about to explore. Your starting luck is determined by rolling 1 die and adding 6 to the number. This is then entered in the luck box on your adventure sheet. Roll your starting luck. 10. That's not bad. Now you must roll your magic. In the Citadel Chaos, in addition to skill, stamina, and luck scores, you must also determine your magic score by rolling 2 dice and adding 6 to the result. Your magic score determines how many spell scrolls you may prepare for use during your quest through the Citadel. Roll to determine my magic. Why I roll shit on my stamina and magic? I'm gonna be so squishy. Now you may choose your spell scrolls. Now that you have determined your magic score, you may use it to select your spell scrolls. Your magic score determines how many scrolls you may prepare for your journey to the Citadel. For example, if you have a magic score of 13, you may use 13 scrolls during your adventure. You may choose multiples of the same scroll, or instead choose a wide range of different scrolls. Touch a spell scroll to learn more about what it can do. You can choose 8 more spells. Yeah, because 6 and 2 is 8. Creature copy. Create a duplicate of the creature you are fighting. And it fights for me. This spell will allow you to tune into psychic wavelengths. Can be used, for example, to read a creature's mind. Enhanced strength. Greatly increases your strength, useful when fighting strong creatures or breaking through doors, but be warned, the spell is at times difficult to control. Fool's Gold. This spell creates an illusion that causes ordinary rock to appear as gold, useful when you're low on actual gold. Illusion. You may create a convincing illusion which can be used to fool others. The spell immediately cancels if anything happens to dispel the illusion. It is most effective when used against intelligent creatures. Impose Weakness. Strong creatures become weaker in battle when this spell is used against them. Not effective against all creature types. Levitation. Frees the recipient from the effects of gravity, allowing them to float freely in the air under your control. Okay, so what do we want? I like creature copy. So I think I have 8. I think I'm going to do 2 of those. What was illusion again? Yeah, but what can happen that can cancel the illusion, though? Impose Weakness I like. I'm going to take 2 of those. So now I have 4 more. Spell is sometimes... I'll take 1 of those. I'll do 1 more creature copy. I'll take an ESP. I'll do another Impose Weakness. I don't know how those really work, so I'm sure I'll learn in the course of this game. There was more. I can't take any of them back. I didn't know there was 5 more on this page. I could restore stamina, would have been amazing. Oh man. Okay, well we botched this one up, but at least we're learning. We're learning, so I can't really be mad at that. You begin your adventure with a sword, leather armor, backpack, and a lantern to light your way. Unlike most fighting fantasy adventures in Citadel Chaos, you begin your adventure without provisions. Normally, provisions may be consumed at any time, excluding combat. By accessing the adventure sheet, I keep wanting to call it a character sheet. By accessing the adventure sheet and restore 4 stamina. As a budding wizard, you instead... I'm a wizard? I'm a wizard. You're a wizard, Harry. As a budding wizard, you instead have to you have access to restore stamina spell scrolls. These restore 5 stamina when used and can be cast at any time, excluding combat, by accessing the adventure sheet. Be sure to pay close attention to your stamina and restore it regularly. I'm gonna try. Your Restore Skill and Restore Luck spell scrolls can be used in a similar fashion. Simply select them from the adventure sheet when you wish to restore those scores. Although you will be able to view all your other spell scrolls through your adventure sheet, they will only be usable during certain moments throughout your adventure. During your quest, you may encounter characters and items that alter your 3 scores: stamina, skill, and luck. You know what? I'm thinking right now about where my camera is, and I might move my camera down here. Maybe that'll be a good place to put it, just so you guys can see. I can't lock it where I want it. Oh well, that'll work, right? That'll work, right? Why not? Y'all don't want to look at this ugly mug anyway. Usually these scores may only ever be restored to their initial amount. On very rare occasions, a particular page may grant an effect that defies this rule. Aside from these occasions, some magic items may also allow you to exceed your initial scores. Once you have readied your equipment, you may begin. Good luck, you'll need it. I have a feeling you will. The lawful good folk of the Vale of Willow have lived for some 8 years in awe and fear of the demi-sorcerer Balthus Dire. In awe, since his power is truly awesome, and in fear, ever since word leaked from his domain that his ambitious plans of conquest were to commence with the Vale itself. A faithful half-elf sent on a spying mission to the Black Tower came galloping back to the Vale 3 days ago with a frantic warning. From within the caverns of Cragen Rock, Balthus Dire had recruited an army of chaotics and was preparing them to attack the Vale within the week. Good King Solomon was a man of action. Messengers were sent throughout the Vale, and that day, messengers were sent throughout the Vale that day to prepare defenses and to summon folk to action. Raiders had also been sent to the great forest of Yore to warn the half-elves who lived there and to make an appeal for allied forces. King Solomon was also a wise man. He knew well that the news would inevitably reach the Grand Wizard of Yore, a sorcerer of great power who lived deep within the forest. The wizard was old and would not last through a battle of this magnitude. But he schooled a number of young magicians, I almost said musicians, and perhaps one of his students in the magic arts with courage and ambition would aid the king and his subjects. You are the star pupil of the Grand Wizard of Yore. He has been a difficult master, and your own impatience has often gotten the better of you. Perhaps a little too headstrong, you left immediately for Solomon's court. The king welcomed you enthusiastically and explained his plan. The battle would be avoided without bloodshed if Balthus were to be assassinated before his army could be amassed. The mission ahead of you is extremely perilous. Balthus Dire is surrounded, in his citadel, by a multitude of appalling creatures. Although magic is your strongest weapon, there will be times when you must rely on your sword to survive. King Solomon has briefed you on your mission and warned you of the dangers that lie ahead. One way through the Citadel is the best for you to take. If you discover it, you will be successful with a minimum of personal risk. It may take you several trips to find this route. You leave the Vale of Willow and begin the long hike to the Black Tower. At the foot of the hill of Cragen Rock, you can see its outline against the dark sky. Now turn over. The sun sets. As twilight turns to darkness, you start your climb up the hill towards a forbidding shape silhouetted against the night sky. The Citadel is less than an hour's climb. Some distance from its walls, you stop to rest. Gazing up at the fortress, a sense of dreadful foreboding fills you, like a fearful specter from which there is no escape. The hairs on your neck prickle as you look towards it. You brush your fears aside and with grim resolve march onwards towards the main gate, where you know guards will be waiting. You consider your options. You have already thought about claiming to be the herbalist, come to treat a guard with fever. You could pose as a trader or an artisan, perhaps a carpenter. You could even be a nomad seeking shelter for the night. As you ponder the possibilities and the yarns you may have to spin to the guards, you reach the main trail leading up to the gates. 2 lanterns burn on either side of the portcullis. You hear muffled gruntings as you approach, and 2 misshapen creatures step forward. On the left stands an ugly creature, with the head of a dog and the body of a gray ape, flexing its powerful arms. Its opposite number is indeed its opposite, with the head of an ape and the body of a large dog. This latter guard approaches you on all fours. It stops some meters in front of you, raises itself on its hind legs, and addresses you. Which story will you opt for? Will you pose as an herbalist? Will you claim to be a tradesman? Will you claim to be a nomad seeking shelter for the night? This is a good question. If I say I'm the herbalist and I'm here to treat somebody, they're probably going to want to know who I'm there to treat. And I can't give a viable answer to that. Will you claim to be a tradesman? That could be beneficial. I have a feeling if I claim to be a nomad seeking shelter for the night, they're going to say, get lost. There's a tree under there. Have fun. I'm going to go with the tradesman. I can bullshit my way out of a few things. Come to make some money, eh? Says the ape dog. Well, you can share some of your profits with us. As you have nothing to offer them, you can pull a rock out of your pouch and cast a fool's gold spell on it, offering them a gold nugget, or you can prepare yourself for battle. I didn't get that one. I could not take the fool's gold spell scroll. I guess I'm gonna have to friggin' fight him. Dude, I don't want to do this. The 2 creatures advance. The ape dog attacks you first, followed by the dog ape. Will you cast a spell or stand and fight? How would you like to deal with these guards? Use a strength spell scroll. If you think a levitation spell scroll is the best option here. Or you may draw your sword and fight. Ape dog? You know, let's use the strength. Let's use one of these scrolls and see what happens. You whip the scroll from your back. Sorry, it's just the way that was worded. I'm a teenager. You whip the scroll from your pack and recite the incantation. The scroll seems to transform into a magic vapor which rushes to enhance your muscles. You feel power surge through your body. The creatures see your rippling muscles harden in front of their eyes and stop dead in their tracks. Your hand grabs your sword hilt and you whip out your blade. Don't say whip out, please. But to your despair, your new strength is difficult to control, and your first slash with the sword sends the blade flying through the air to land several meters away. The creatures grin at each other and advance. As your magical strength renders you unable to handle your sword, you must fight unarmed and therefore receive no bonus to your attacks. Ah.
Is that what they were saying about it wasn't very reliable or something like that, man? That's bullshit.
Let's fight. If you defeat the guards, you may retrieve your sword and your strength returns to normal. If you are defeated by these troublesome guards, I can't do any of those. I must fight. Hit the ape dog, tap the opinion. So I killed him. Now I have the dog ape. If I had known that their stamina was so low, I wouldn't have worried about the strength potion. But I'm learning, and that's always something. Ain't nothing but a thing. If you defeat the guards, you may retrieve your sword. I was unarmed. Stepping over the bodies, you approach the gate and call for the gatekeeper, hiding in the shadows as they approach. The gatekeeper sees the bodies and comes out to investigate, whereupon you nip inside the gate and lock them out. Way to go, me. You walk forward into a spacious open courtyard surrounded by large walls. Various lights are burning, and groups of figures are shuffling around in the darkness. In the center of the courtyard is a large monument of some kind, perhaps a fountain. Looking across the yard, you can see what happens to be the main entrance to the tower. What will you do? If you want to creep around the wall towards the tower, do I want to stride boldly across the courtyard, or tiptoe through the shadows towards one of the rooms? I don't want to just stride boldly in the middle of the freaking courtyard and say, hey, fuck you. Hey, fuck you. I'm going to try to creep around the wall towards the tower. Maybe I won't be noticed. As you creep around the wall, you hear the wow. Did you hear how I say that? Why did I say it like that? As you creep around the wall, you hear a low moaning noise a few meters ahead. As you get closer, you make out the shape of a man on the ground, obviously in pain. He calls out for help. Approach him, see what you can do to help, or ignore him and continue along the wall. I'm going to try to help the dude. Hey, I'm looking for allies. If somebody can, The man is old, has been hit about the head with a club of some sort. He asks for medicine, but you have none. You could use a stamina spell to fix him up, and he offers to help you if you will. I don't have a stamina spell. If you want to use a restore stamina spell... Don, I'm gonna get text. If you want to use a restore stamina spell, scroll to help him. If you want, I'm gonna have to leave him. Do I have a restore stamina spell? I don't. That's why it's... I have to leave him. Sorry, dude. The shadow of the wall makes it very difficult to see. A loose stone slips and you lose your balance, teetering on the edge of what you realize must be a deep pit. Oh, test your luck. If you're lucky, ooh, if you're unlucky. You are lucky. You needed a luck score of 10 or below. You rolled a luck score of 10. Does that go down? Yeah, it went down 1. Why does it do that in a game? It's so unfair. Okay, that go away. You regain your footing and step back to safety. You can then walk around the pit and continue. In the far corner of the courtyard, you come across a peculiar bush with branches twisting out from the central stalk, as if in agony. The leaves are diamond-shaped with small berries underneath, flat and tablet-like. You take some berries with you on your adventure and creep further along the wall to the main entrance of the Citadel. In front of you is a large wooden door, firmly locked. You may either knock 3 times for the guard, or use a strength spell to try to open it. I'm just gonna... I don't have a strength spell. Wait, did I get 2? I'll knock. Knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want me. The door opens and a large, brutish creature steps out. It has a sharp horn in the middle of its forehead, and its skin appears to be armor-plated. It grunts to ask you what you want and demands the password before letting you in. Do you know the password? I don't know the password. If not, you'll have to bluff your way in. I'm gonna have to bluff my way in. You think quickly. You reach into your bag and pull out a handful of weeds. Showing them to the creature, you explain that you are an herbalist. You've come to treat the Lord's librarian, who is critically ill. I could have done that to get power. I kicked their asses. It doesn't matter. The messenger never told you of any passwords. Will the guard believe you? Yes. But now I'm down to 8 now. Let's leave that up on the bottom. I kind of like having it there. It's like I have lifelines, even though I have no lifeline. Ooh. I guess that's a map, if you want to call that a map. Bookmarks, home. Are there going to be any places to rest in this, or do I just have to bookmark the page? I guess we'll find out when we get there. The guard believes your tale and lets you in with a grunt. You are in a narrow hallway. This continues for several meters and ends in a doorway. Halfway along the passage, you can see an archway where some steps lead downwards. Will you go forwards to the door or creep down the steps? That's the thing, though. I'm trying to think about... I don't know my way through here. Does the guard know that I don't know my way through here? I kind of assume he would just take me to librarian. Oh, he just let me in, so he's not escorting me anywhere. I'm gonna creep down the steps. You follow the stairs downwards. The air is cool and stagnant. At the foot of the stairs is a door. You try the door, or return up the stairs to investigate the door on the ground floor. I'm going to try the door. The door is locked. You may try to break it down by charging it with your shoulder, or you may cast strength spell on yourself and try to wrench the door off its hinges. I'm going to make a loud noise if I do that, right? Well, I got no choice. As you hit the door, the wood cracks a little but does not give. You try it again, and this time the wood splits down the middle. You break your way through and enter the room behind it. You now stand in a large round room. It is lit by a single torch fixed into one wall. There is no furniture in the room save for a rough wooden table and chair in the center. Hovering above the table, fast asleep, is a very small man dressed in a green shirt and pantaloons. He cannot be more than a meter tall, and you cannot believe that he is still asleep after your noisy entrance. You hear a creak and turn to your right in time to see a small catapult fire a missile of some sort straight at you. It is going to hit you unless you use a shielding spell. I didn't know I could get a shielding spell, so I'm just going to have to take the freaking hit. If you choose to use a spell, if you cannot or will not, you try to duck, but cannot avoid the full impact of the missile, which hits you on the forehead and splatters all over your face. You brace yourself, waiting perhaps for an acidic reaction to take place. But the mushy liquid merely drips off your face on the ground. Cautiously you test it, first with your finger, then with your tongue. You have just been hit by a ripe tomato. You turn to face the sleeping figure, who is beginning to stir. Cautiously, you approach the little man. As you get close, a single eye opens and looks at you, straight in the face. A wide grin spreads between the creature's ears, and he disappears.
Good morning to you,
says a chirpy little voice behind you, and you swivel around to see him standing there, still grinning.
I'm more Seamus, the Leprechaun.
He chuckles and holds his hand out to you. He seems friendly enough. Will you shake his hand and try to befriend him, or draw your sword?
I'm going to befriend him.
You grasp his hand and introduce yourself and cry out as the nerves down your arm go numb. Seamus bursts out laughing. You lose 1 skill point. As you were using your sword arm. You lose 1 skill point as you're using your sword arm. You are becoming angry, but the little man continues to shake your hand and laugh. A laugh comes from behind you, and you look around to see him floating in the air, grinning. But you are still shaking his hand in front of you, or are you? In fact, now you realize you are frantically shaking hands with a stuffed dummy which is flopping around on the end of your arm as you shake it. You throw it to the ground, but it is stuck to your hand. The situation is ludicrous, and you are becoming very angry.
Just a little joke,
says the Leprechaun, who snaps his fingers. The dummy disappears.
Now what can I do for you?
Will you ask him the way onwards or draw your sword? Ask him the way onwards.
He's gonna fuck with me. I get that. Oh, I shouldn't go this way, says old Seamus. These are not pleasant parts.
These three doors are the only ones onward. Two of them are very dangerous, and the other is very smelly. On the opposite side of the room are three doors. One has a brass handle, one has a copper handle, one has a bronze handle. Which will you choose? Brass, copper, bronze. I'm gonna go. Oh. I can ask O'Shamus for his advice. I'm gonna ask him for his advice.
Which would I take? He muses. Let's see. I would not take the 2 doors to the left of the copper-handled one, nor the door to the right of the brass-handled one.
Which door will you choose? I would not take 2 doors to the left of the copper-handled one, nor the door to the right of the bronze-handled one. I'm gonna go for the copper one. Watch it be a snake. You open the door and step out into a long corridor. A sudden, intense flash of light bursts out in front of you. You shield your eyes and then rub them, but you cannot see. Panic hits you as you hear a low, growling noise. Padded footsteps come closer, and you cry out in pain as this unseen creature roars and embeds its sharp teeth into your leg. What will you do? Pulling my sword. You slash about madly with your sword, but cannot hit the creature. Either it is extremely quick, or is no solid body for you to hit. Its teeth are now tearing at your flesh, and you can feel blood on your leg. You will have to protect yourself with magic, or face certain death from this unseen creature. Weakness spell. I guess I'll do the weakness spell. You cast your weakness spell. You wait for your creature's strength to fade. But as its teeth continue to maul you, you are dismayed to find that its attack is becoming more ferocious. You cannot feel your leg now. The pain is intense. You feel faint and you lose consciousness as the jaws close on your throat. You are awake and look around. As your memory returns, you are amazed that you can see. Your leg feels tender, but it is uninjured. You hear a small chuckle coming from above you, and suddenly the whole thing makes sense. Floating above you is O'Shamus, now laughing loudly. The whole thing had been one big practical joke. You are enraged and leap to your feet, but as you glare at the funny little man rolling about in the air in hysterics, you can't help but see the funny side too. You chuckle, then giggle, then laugh loudly. For some time the two of you roar with laughter until tears stream down your faces. When you are both able to control yourselves, you eventually settle down to chat. He is a pleasant little man. Before you leave, he says, "Indeed, you're a good sport. Your way ahead is fraught with danger, though. But perhaps these will help you." With a wave of his hand, a sword and a plate appear on the table. The sword is a magic battle sword and increases your skill by 1 point during battle. The plate is, in fact, a silver mirror of fine workmanship. You take these with you, but you'll have to leave your old sword behind. You bid old Seamus farewell and leave the room. Why would I have to leave my sword behind? Is he gonna prank me again? Now I get to choose. So if I take the copper-handled door... Fuck it, I'm going to take the copper-handled door again. The door opens and you enter a narrow corridor. You follow it for some time until you finally come to another door. This time, a wide carved door with a transcription wine cellar set into it. You try the handle, and it opens.
What's that, though? What's that, though?
You try to handle and it opens. Poking your head around the door, you can see rows and rows of racks full of bottles, full of wine. The room is dimly lit by several candles. Your opening the door has caused a little bell to ring, and a figure is limping towards you, up to one of the aisles. Will you draw the sword and prepare to defend yourself, or see what this person might have to say? You know what? If you've seen my Warlock of Firetop Mountain, I love to try diplomacy first. I'm at least going to try to talk first. So let's see what he has to say. The elf approaching you is skinny and ragged. He asks whether you are a guest or an adventurer. You tell him you are a guest. Come down to sample the wine he keeps in his famous wine cellar. With a certain pride, he shows you the vintage bottles he keeps for his lord, the demi-sorcerer. Some of them, he claims, have magical powers. He offers to let you sample the wine. Which vintage will you sample? If you would like to try a red wine, white wine, rosé wine, or would you decline his offer and make your way onwards? Oh. With a certain pride, he keeps the wine for his lord. You know what? I've seen Game of Thrones. I'm not tasting the wine. At the far end of the wine cellar is a wooden door which you try. It opens out into a passageway that leads onwards for several meters. Some way along the passage, you arrive at a four-way junction. You take a path to the north, which eventually leads you to a large wooden door. You can hear nothing by listening at the keyhole. You try to open the door slowly and quietly, otherwise you could try charging the door. I'm going to try opening it slowly and quietly. The handle turns and you step into a dark room.
What is that?
You look around the room. It is lit only by your torch. Although a fairly large room, it has little furniture in it. Although a fairly large room, it has little furniture in it. Although a large boulder, sliced flat, resembles a table, and a smaller rock forms the sort of stool behind it. In one corner, a pile of rocks are held together with mud. You cannot imagine their purpose, although they support 3 wooden chests. Then you jump with fright as your torch lights up a large creature, seemingly made of rock itself, standing by a door. It is roughly human-shaped, although somewhat larger. Its eyes are staring straight at you, but you cannot be sure if it is actually seeing you. What will you do? Run for the other door, or attempt to speak with the creature? Or I can move slowly to I'm going to try to speak with the creature. The creature must communicate in some method unknown to you. You hail at it in all the languages you know, but it continues to stand silently. You make a move towards the center of the room. At your first movement, the creature seems to break from its trance and steps towards you. Seeing this, you may either run for the door at the far end of the room, or make for the boxes and risk taking on this silent giant. If you wish to run for the door at the other end of the room, turn to 237 to make for the boxes. What if it's guarding the boxes? What if I touch the boxes and the thing comes to life? Let's try it. Let's make for the boxes. The golem advancing towards you. I called it. Didn't I call it? I freaking called it. The golem advancing towards you is a slow-moving creature, and you reach the boxes easily. You curse as you find they are all locked. As you struggle with the locks, the golem closes in on you. How will you confront this mighty creature? Wish to draw your sword and fight? Try casting a fire spell? Try using a creature copy spell to distract the beast. Or forget the box is raised for later. I'm going to do the creature copy thing. I've got, what, 2 of those? A perfect copy of the golem forms in front of you. You command it to attack the real golem, which is now almost upon you. While your creation distracts the original, you have a chance to examine the boxes. While the original golem and the copy fight noisily behind you, you have a chance to peek inside one of the boxes. Which will you choose? First box, second box, third box. I'm going to go for the one in the middle, the second one. You struggle with the box for some time trying to open it. It will not open. You take out your sword and strike the box, but you succeed in only blunting your sword. You lose 1 point from your skill score. You do not manage to open the box. What will you try next? Let's try the third box. The box is solidly made, but you cannot break the lock with your hands. You draw your sword to try to hack it off, and you do so. The box falls on your shin, causing a nasty cut, and you must deduct 2 stamina points. I'm gonna die from boxes! Your sword will not break the lock. How do you wish to proceed? Let's do the first box. Something's gotta give. After some struggling, the box opens. Inside is a silver key. What would you like to do with it? Try using the key on the second box. The key turns, and removing the lock, you open the box to find another key, this time cut with glowing green metal. Try this new key on the third box. The key turns, the lock clicks open, and you look inside the box. Inside the box is a glass jar, and inside the jar is a spider. But this is not a normal spider. This creature has the face of an old man. He is talking to you, but you cannot make out what he is saying. A noise startles you. You spin around to see that the door, the one you came through, is beginning to open. You put the jar in your bag and make for the other door. You open the door and step forwards into a passageway, which runs eastward for several meters and then ends at the foot of the staircase. You climb the stairs and eventually find yourself in a narrow passageway. A short distance ahead of you, you can see an opening into a large well-lit room. You press on forwards. The room you are in is some sort of grand dining hall. A long table large enough to seat some 40 or 50 people stands in the center, edged with chairs. Various doors and passageways lead from the room, which are particularly interested in 2 wide staircases, which lead upwards to either end of a balcony overlooking the hall. Paintings and suits of armor decorate the walls. The room is empty. Okay, I'm going to guess that there's not going to be any benches or anything in this game. So I'm going to bookmark this. Your position has been saved. To reload this position, just tap the bookmark button from the menu at the bottom of the screen. Okay. Okay. So I placed a bookmark, and that's where this journey is going to come to an end. I wanted to go about a half hour, but looks like we went a little over. But the character creation kind of thing, if you want to call it the character creation thing, rolling for stats and everything, took a little bit longer than I thought it would. But, you know, that's a good starting episode. I think in the future of these, I'm going to try to keep the episodes around a half hour, maybe 20 minutes to a half hour, just so they're not so long. I find with these, maybe shorter episodes will probably get over better. But, yeah, I'm really liking this. I'm really, really liking this game. I don't like that, man, I almost got taken out by friggin' boxes. But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
Goodbye.